Correcting
Step
dog
it.
trainers.
What's the difference between an aggressive dog and a reactive dog?
Aggressive dog is usually aggressive towards everything. They're just always in a state of aggression. They'll attack humans, they'll attack other dogs. They just display aggression all the time. Like they have no off switch really. They're just assholes. Reactive dogs are typically unsocialized or lack of socialization, so something causes them to react. Like another dog, for example. This dog is not comfortable around other dogs and therefore will react out of aggression. And they're doing it typically to try and get what they fear away from them. We want to focus on socialization, we want to focus on having the owners learn how to handle the dogs, correct the dogs, teach the dog what it is we want from them, tell them what we don't want from them, and go on from there.
So this is canine intuition, and they believe that aggressive dogs are dogs that are aggressive towards dogs, humans, they're always aggressive, and they can never really turn it off. But we know that's not true, right? It's almost the opposite of what the actual situation is, where aggressive dogs are dogs that are willing to do violence, and they have a specific trigger that makes them go over threshold and makes them feel like they need to do violence. The difference between a reactive dog and a aggressive dog is that line of willingness to do violence. There are dogs that are aggressive towards other dogs, and if that dog comes within their space, they feel challenged, they are going to go over threshold and do violence. There are guardian breed dogs that are territorial, and if you step on their territory, that is their line that says, now it is time to do violence. There are dogs that are possessive of people. There are dogs that are fearful, and if you come into their space, they will react in order to protect themselves. There are certain lines in the sand that these dogs have drawn, and if you cross them, they are willing to do violence. That's the definition of an aggressive dog. A reactive dog is a dog that is not willing to do violence and is usually still sensitized to the environments they're in. This guy uses the word socialized, but that's because they don't really work with actual socialization. So they use enrichment and they just call it socialization because everybody knows you need socialization. But if we change the definition, we get it without actually having to do it, you know? But they're right in the aspect that you need to enrich your dog. You need your dog to be engaging with their environment, have an understanding on what the rules of the environment are so they do not become paranoid and feel the need to go over threshold when they really wouldn't have if they understood more. And then you have the working line dogs that are reactive because they are very high stimulation dogs and they need to be desensitized regularly because they are high energy dogs that need to work. Dogs that are confused become reactive. Dogs that do not understand what their job is and what they are and are not allowed to do in an area will take it upon themselves, and usually they're wrong, and that's what happens. A dog that is aggressive is a dog that's willing to do violence when a certain line or trigger is met.